Anno is once again back in the news with 1800 set to come out soon. Ubisoft put out a beta, or a free weekend to test it out. And the footage that you're seeing is from that beta. So what you see may not represent the current version of the game, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be really close. Anyway, if you're new, Anno 1800 is the latest in the franchise from Blue Byte. A logistics challenging game where you're building cities that are just meant to satisfy your never-ending lust for logistics and that lovely little profit counter in the upper left going up and up. Right now it's actually going down as we're building. But the previous game, Anno 2205, changed the overall progression and structure of how the game played out, and it was quite a bit of a polarizing experience. With 1800 here, Blue Byte has gone back towards the older style, most specifically with Anno Dawn of Discovery, aka 1404. Now, 1800 does feature a few changes and possible new conventions, which unfortunately, due to this being a beta, I couldn't fully see. So obviously, the graphics engine has been given yet another major push. And this is one of those games, if you have a high-end computer and like taking screenshots of like its old-timey villages and structures, you're going to enjoy things. But the general gist of Anno's gameplay remains the same. Your job is to build and maintain colonies on these islands. The footage that you're seeing right now is from the game's campaign, which gives you a little bit more structure in terms of missions and things to figure out, and you see the goals list in the left-hand corner of the screen there. And the game loves to throw in like these little hidden object challenges and quote-unquote puzzle quests for you to solve as well, in the mix of doing all your building and economy management. The rules remain the same from all the latest entries in the Anno franchise. Your mission is to keep your colonists or your various people happy. Each group or class of people have needs that must be met that you can see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. As you fulfill the needs, more people will move in, and thus will also increase the demand. So it's very easy to keep people fed and full of drinks at the beginning, but when your colony grows to like hundreds or thousands of people, it gets a lot harder. So you can basically build various consumer goods structures. And the whole point of Anno is all about production chains. You're not just building a single structure and that's it. If you want to get any goods to go around your various colonies, you need to build each structure in the chain. So our workers here want sausages to eat. So I need to build both a pig farm and I need to build a butcher. Now, the goods are moved around in real time. And however you place them and wherever you place them in your colony will affect the logistics and the rate at which goods are produced, because they actually have to be moved from each structure. That's why buildings have to be connected to either the harbor that you see down there or to warehouses you can set up on the map. And then as things move around, the goods get transported, they get processed and refined, and then they get sent, or once they are deposited in a warehouse, they are then available for the entire colony to use. That's one of the few little, gamey elements of Anno. But as you can see here, I'm trying to pick out or look at the production chain. And the UI for Anno has gotten better as the series has gone on. It now just ties it all to each individual production chain instead of having you to dig into multiple layers. But buildings have to be connected via road. Now, right now it's unclear if secondary structures or resource producers will automatically deliver their goods to the refining building. So in this case, like if I build the clay pit next and I build the brick makers right next to it, I don't know if they need to be attached via a road. I just did it automatically just out of practice here. But as you gather resources and keep your people happy, You'll unlock new buildings at various thresholds of colonists. Once you've gotten enough of one single type and you've met all their needs, the game will unlock the next tier. In this case, we go from farmers to workers. The farmers will upgrade into the workers, and thus they'll be used for that demand. Now, one thing that may be a little hard to see, but if you look at the top of the screen right now, underneath the wood and brick icons, you can see the number of workers or labor we have from each class. This is important because a major part of Anno's design is all about maintaining and growing a state of equilibrium throughout your colony. You want resources to be coming in enough so that you're never in a deficit, and you want to make sure you have enough workers or various people to fulfill all the roles in your colony. But as you can probably assume, the bigger your colony gets, the more plates you need to juggle, and the more challenges you're going to have in order to get this going. And this has basically been Anno's MO for the longest time. Now, from what we've seen so far, with the campaign, it looks like you're dealing with a fixed map and then having the various story elements. There is an endless campaign, and I'm going to go out on a limb and guess there is going to be scenarios and bonus challenges for you to deal with. But this is going to be a relatively quick first look, simply by the fact that there is so much to Anno from a gameplay standpoint, but not so much if you're going to sit here and watch, very lovingly rendered trees and villages and people moving around. So we're going to do a quick Patreon and sponsor shout out, and then we'll talk a little bit more about, I think, a few of the possible complaints with Anno 1800. And now for a quick thank you to our Patreon backers, as well as to our current Game Wisdom sponsors. And if you'd like to continue this discussion on game design, be sure to check out our Discord channel, linked down below. If you're a fan of Game Wisdom and looking for a little bit of collectible swag, anyone who donates $25 or more via Super Chat or on patreon.com/JoshBycer will get your hands on this lovely little Josh box. This is a hand-detailed box that comes with a USB drive containing 10 hours of some of my favorite podcasts done throughout the years. This is only available for the month of April 2019. Afterwards, we'll have to weigh in and see if people want more Josh boxes in the future. So if you're interested, be sure to get those donations in now before this offer runs out. With Anno 1800, the game again follows the MO of its previous or the pre-futuristic era of the franchise, for good and for ill. One of the things I really liked about 2205 was more the open-ended structure and kind of the different systems and biomes. And I could spend another 15-20 minutes talking about 2205, but we're going to try to keep things brief here. With 1800, the game definitely hints at going back to Dawn of Discovery, or again 1404's model. The campaign does not or did not allow me to do too much with shipbuilding or island logistics. And for those of you who didn't play Anno, a major part of logistics chain as you get later into the game is managing the shipping and receiving of goods from one of your colonies to another, because islands themselves will have limits as to what can be produced there. If you look in the bottom left hand corner above the map, you can see the resources that are available on this island. But you'll eventually get to a point where you must move goods from one island to another to then process it to then send it to another island. And this is all done by using ships and setting up trade routes. And that was one thing that was kind of missing to some extent with 2205, which focused more on kind of biome transport as opposed to the individual layers. But the one thing that I am not looking forward to, that I hope that they've gone back around with Anno 1800, is the military aspect. Military and the city building in the Anno franchise has always been at odds with each other. For me, I'm not a fan of the combat. I much prefer the logistics challenge. And 2205 basically relegated combat to its own separate system / bonus game, which reward you with resources that you could use back in the logistics side, and I really enjoyed that system. I don't know, again, if that is in 1800 at this point. But as you've been watching this footage here for now about 10 minutes, again, what you see is what you get with Anno. This could be either the greatest thing and you are so excited to play this game right now, or you may be falling asleep at your keyboard wondering when aliens and zombies show up. And again, the Anno series is built around logistics challenges only. And if that doesn't work for you, then Anno 1800 is not going to change your mind. But with that said, I do have one hope that there may be more to the gameplay than what the beta suggests. I found this overworld map that showed up when I hit spacebar, and I just wonder if that could be Anno 1800's way of introducing the biome diversity that we saw with 2205. In previous Anno games, from like 1404, you had the various different island types. I think it was the Ottoman Empire or something like that, and then you had like the Old World or the British side of things, and that all took place on a single map. 2205 actually just created different biomes with their own unique challenges and buildings to work with. And I'm hoping that that map that I just showed you hints at that kind of design. Now, with that said, we're going to begin to wrap things up here for this first look. So, as a fan of Anno, I am definitely excited about this one. And for anyone watching this who is also a fan, you're probably going to love this as much as I am. But I'm curious, for the fans watching this right now, what did you think of Anno 2205? As again, that was the most different in terms of its design and structure out of the entire Anno franchise, not counting like the very first entries in it. But with that said, thank you so much for watching this first look. If you'd like me to take a look at your game in the future, it doesn't have to be city building or logistics related, please don't hesitate to get in touch. And let me know if you want to see more of Anno 1800 when the game comes out here on the channel. But come back for daily discussions on game design here and on game wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games. Once again, this has been Anno 1800, the beta play, and I will see you all next time. If you're looking for a book on design, my first title, 20 Essential Games to Study, is out now. It is available where most books are sold, and it comes in paper, hardcover, or digital copies. This is the perfect book for anyone interested in learning about game design, whether you are a student, enthusiast, or just a fan. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed things, be sure to do all the liking and subscribing that the kids are doing these days. Check out our Discord channel link down below where we hang out and chat game design, and come back later tonight for our regular streamings. But that's it, and tune in for more great content here and on Game Wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games.